Hello everyone, welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program. Last episode I landed on Minmus, so this episode I'm going to try and get back home again. I've taken some screenshots just because it looks good. If as if the video wasn't enough proof that I got here. Yeah, so I can now join the club of people who have not only landed on the moon but also on Minmus. So first thing, plan how I'm going to get back. I'm already on the equator, so I want to go away from the north. On either side, it doesn't really matter. But I'm kind of spun round. You can see north there, so I'll go. Wait, normally I go that way. Okay, I'll go that way. Quite simply. Okay, I can use the RCS thrusters to take off though. So I turn them on, and the SAS just to get me in the air before I fire the rocket again. Yeah, good. Okay, now that way. That's the one. You can see it already lifts me off the ground slightly. Boing, boing. Okay. That purring is my cat, by the way, if you can hear. Okay, here we go. Landing gear up. And fire the engines. You barely need any thrust on Minmus. Where is that apparatus? Wait. Okay, according to this, I'm inside the planet. Where? I don't know what's going on there. I really have no idea what's happening. Let's just keep the throttle up anyway. And kind of hope that we'll get somewhere. Ah, here we go. Oh, finally. Okay. My cat's decided to sleep on my arm. Okay. Let's get this up to about a bit higher. That'll do. 25? That'll do. Okay. Bye bye, Minimus. Yeah, they don't look too happy about that. I don't know why. So I've still got 3/4 of a tank of fuel left, and some RCS fuel just in case. I think Try Dying to Live made a ship where he landed using just RCS. He made the top section. I've got RCS fuel and half a tank of rocket fuel, so it's kind of a hybrid. But he just used RCS fuel. He had about 4 tanks on there, I think it was, or 3 tanks. Yeah, and he just used the RCS fuel. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Time up faster now. To take off and to return home, because the gravity of Minmus is so small that if you get the return trajectory right, you can just boost straight off and you'll be coming home very, very quickly and easily with the minimum of fuel. I think my theory of this being a comet that has got caught in Kerbin's gravity isn't actually a bad theory, seeing as it is mostly ice and rock, and it's absolutely tiny. So I think most comets are slightly smaller. I don't know. Because we can't time warp, I'm having to do this very, very slowly. As soon as we get to the apoapsis, though, I can boost rounds. And I'll just time warp down and position myself. Oh, turn off the RCS. I don't need that now. And I don't want to waste it. Ooh. Kind of unstable here. Oh, it's because of all the weights at the back. Try and get it into more of the equator there. Now I don't know how I'm going to be returning home because of this slanted orbit. It might throw me off a bit, but I know. Oh, we're actually. Oh, that's perfect anyway. And I know that Kerbin's gravity is very, very strong, so we might end up in like a polar orbit, but we'd still be there. But I'm just going to get into orbit around Minmus first. Yeah, about now. Looks like as good a time as any. And then we're going to get the apoapsis up to 50,000 just so I can boost a bit more. There we go. Yep, still got loads of fuel left. And we're going to wait till we get to 40,000 meters. I might put a few cuts in here because of the planet is so small. Time warping is just annoying. So I need an override model for them to actually put in relative time warps. So you can still time warp faster if you're closer to a very, very small planet. Yeah, okay, I'll cut this. Okay, I was able to time warp a bit faster, and we're about at the apoapsis. Just slow down again, and oops, yes. Just round off this orbit. You can walk faster if you go to 100,000 kilometers, so I might just bring it up to that. Alright. Yeah, we've still got loads of fuel. So this might involve several orbits of Minmus. Actually, let's just get to 200,000 just to be on the safe side. There we go. Just so we get there quicker. So we can only walk 10 times at the moment. But you can see the vertical speed going up. So I want to get into a good high orbit that you can fast forward through before calculating how we're going to get back. So I'll probably just cut the video till I get there as well. Wow, Kerbin rise from Minmus. That's quite cool actually. Let me just take a picture of that. Yeah, that's a good shot, that is. There's the sun up there. Well, I might just be able to get that in shot. Yeah, that's good, that is. Really nice. Anyway, back to time warping and cutting the video. Okay, we're just about there. Just gone on to our second day, is that? I don't know. Hang on. Seconds, minutes, hours, days. Yeah. So it's 2 days of in-game time. But we haven't spent that long actually recording. Most of that's been time warping. Yeah, can I have my arm back? Thanks. Okay. Should be facing the right way. Make sure. Yep. And the periapsis, the apoapsis is 202, so I want to get this to about 200 as well. That's alright. Okay. Doesn't have to be a perfect orbit. And then we'll time warp until we get round to the other side, so I can then boost to get back home. Because that's a pretty good straight orbit in relation to the others. So it's actually, Minmus's orbit is actually slanted that way, but our orbit is pretty decent. So we want to actually face the right way. So I'll cut the video again until we get there, or no, cut the video, and I'll be back when I actually get there. Okay, we're just coming up to the point where I'll probably have to start boosting. About now. Because Minmus is orbiting, but it's orbiting very, very, very slowly. So I'll want to just get around a little bit. It's about there, I think. I'm just judging this by eye completely. I just hope I don't get snared by the moon. That's my only fear, really. Well, my main fear is that I'll actually, my main fear is that I'm not actually going to get this right. But at least it has that little orbital diagram thing that tells you when you're going to get captured by a planet and stuff. So I'll know whether I've got it right or not. I just don't want to be snared by the moon. So let's just start boosting. It won't take much thrust at all. Maybe a little more thrust, just so it gets it on the orbital diagram. There we go. Then it'll start expanding out very, very, very quickly. So I think every meter a second is like several kilometers when it gets over there. Oh. Okay, that's when I get into Kerbin's orbit. I kind of wanted to see whether it was possible to... hang on, that'll be... it. Okay, I'll boost around the other way. Get the dialogue back up again, because it seems to be spazzing out a little. I didn't expect that. Okay, I'll use the RCS just to boost back up again. Oh, that way. There we go. So we should transfer into there, and then I'll boost to then shrink the orbit once we've transferred our orbits into the other gravity well. I think it's called a gravity well anyway. Let me just turn off RCS. Bye, Minmus. It's been nice landing on you. The next challenge will be to make a rover that will actually explore it. Same with the moon, actually. I want to do that with the moon first, using modded parts and lights as well, because there's a mod for lights, so it just looks good. Probably be using the damned robotics parts as well. Oh. There we go. 400,000. Boom, time warp 1,000. Time warp 10,000. Okay, here we go. There we go, I'm in Kerbin orbit. So I'll shrink that round and hope I don't get caught by Minmus again. I think I'm too far away to be caught by Minmus at the moment. So I'll shrink the orbit while I'm still far away. So it should be okay. Yeah, that's good. How much fuel have I got? Oh, plenty. Plenty of fuel. Oh dear. Wait. No, that's fine, because it says I'll leave it again. Let me just time warp out. Okay, and then I should leave it now. Boom, there we go. Okay. That's fine. That's a mistake I've seen people make with the moon, and it's one of those things that you just sort of want to shout at the screen, because of if you're trying to get away from the moon and you're going in the same orbit, I forgot about that actually, orbiting the other way so that Minmus would go away from you so you wouldn't be caught in it again. But when you get caught in it again, leave it. Just keep going, and then you'll end up going back into a Kerbin orbit, and your orbit will have only shifted a little bit. You can just then correct that a little bit, and everything's fine. But if you try and then mess around with it again, you end up wasting loads and loads of fuel and time. and you might end up failing the mission. Anyway, let's shrink this down. Gosh, I hope I don't get caught by the moon there. That's my massive concern, really. Oh, yeah, it said that I would. Ah, but the moon will be going round there, so. Just get that a little bit lower. Okay. Yeah, and then I'll correct that so that we have a nice gentle landing. I'll correct that when we get to it. Still got almost half a tank of fuel left, so let's time warp up again. 10,000. Shame you can't go any faster than that, because when you start orbiting the sun, 10,000 times, you know, it feels like you haven't actually got the time warp on at all when you're orbiting Kerbin, you know. Wow. Remember, it went round twice then. Ooh, I hope I don't get caught with the space junk. What if it tells you that if you're going to smash into something? Hey, hello, Kerbin. Okay, oops. Get around to the... Whoa! Perhaps I did not mean to do that. Ooh, that did not go well. Okay. I'll shrink the orbit anyway, just in case we end up getting on Minmus again. Oh, almost went back to the moon again. This isn't the most fuel efficient time to be doing this, but I don't really have much choice at the moment. Okay, that's good. And I'll get round to the periapses again. Oh, wow. The periapse is at 1 million meters. I might have to do 2 transfers to do this properly. Because what some people do even, is they end up making the orbit directly intersect the planet and ended up with a really, really heavy, like an almost vertical drop, or a really, really, really hard landing. But I prefer to transfer the orbit so that you end up with a nice soft landing. I haven't got enough fuel. Okay, I'll get to the apoapses again and boost at the periapses. I think it's going to be soft enough for now, and we might end up landing on the light side. So I forgot to do the periapses actually because I wasted a bit of fuel there and I didn't notice. We should have enough for this, and I've still got some RCS fuel to help. Not that that'll do much. Let's just get this down to intersect the planet. I'll just keep the boost on full and just kind of hope, because I'm actually a little bit worried now all of a sudden because I just noticed how much fuel we've got, or how much fuel we haven't got. Oh, it's going to stop in a second. Oh, it just stopped. Okay, we've got RCS fuel. Let's try that. Oh, actually, that's doing a pretty good job. Map view. Wow, that's doing an amazingly good job. Okay, we're going to do it. Why was I ever worried? I've got to get this to 32 kilometers, or else we wouldn't actually get into... we wouldn't actually land. The atmosphere wouldn't slow us down enough, and we'd have to do a couple of passes to slow ourselves down enough. But I think that's enough. Just there we go. 1 second. Okay, and it looks like we might end up with a water landing. It kind of depends. Or it's a little slanted, but let's just watch ourselves go back in. Not that fast. Okay, here we go. Can't see the atmosphere yet. Okay, I can see the atmosphere. It should automatically slow us down. Yep. Okay, now, just as we hit the atmosphere, I'm going to eject the this section here. Okay, 71, 70. Okay. I'm just going to eject that now. Oops, RCS off, SS off. And we'll do the standard landing procedure. Basically, eject, keep the SAS on, and press caps lock to get this onto fine controls so you don't end up moving too much. Okay, bye bye capsule. Okay, this should start decreasing now. Yep, it's decreasing gradually. And as we get into the thicker atmosphere, it will decrease even faster. Just looks a little big actually. I don't know whether the 32 kilometer rule actually applies for such high apoapsis. Apoapses. Oh no, it seems to be fine actually. Sorry, clearing my throat there. I think I could just garbled my words then. Clearing my throat there is what I said, just in case you didn't. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Oh, it looks like it will be an air landing. Whatever you call it. Oh, actually, yeah. No, we're not in the thicker atmosphere yet. An air landing? Wait a minute. What was I saying? No, land landing. Air landing? There we go. Holy crap. We're going to land on the same continent as the Kerbal Space Center. Damn, I should have made a space plane now, or else we might end up landing on the... so we could actually land on the runway, all the way from Minmus. Okay, seeing as we're not actually going to do that, that will be in a future episode, just because it sounds like a really cool idea. I'll turn the SAS off so the air guides us in, the atmosphere guides us in. And then when we get to a suitable speed, I'll open the parachute. Yep. Now that was brilliant timing. 5,000 kilometers? Yeah. Open the parachute. Once we're vertical, I'll put the SAS back on, just so we don't end up rolling over. These trees look just like the trees I crashed in a previous episode in a really ridiculous plane. Okay, SAS on. Time warp down. There we go. Time warp back up again, just to speed the landing up a bit. Hello, cat. And time warp down. Yes, I know, cat. Boom. There we go. That looks a little harder than a little bit of a harder landing than I would have liked, but that's fine. Oh, there's grass there. I've noticed the grass. I've noticed the trees, but not the grass. Okay, that was a perfect landing. On a perfect mission. That went absolutely brilliantly. All the way from Minmus, which is actually, yeah, the furthest planet I've ever been to. I have actually once been to the Sun, and been to all the way over here, you know, that far away from Kerbin, completely by accident, because I was trying to see how high an orbit I could get into, and I accidentally started orbiting the Sun, and spent hours trying to rendezvous with the planet, managed to rendezvous with the planet, got down to a really low periapsis, was about to transfer back into the planet's orbit again, and ran out of fuel. Completely ran out of fuel. So I kind of missed the Earth and missed Kerbin and shot back off into the moon, into the Sun again, and never saw Kerbin again. Oh well. That was in a previous save, so it never happened here. Anyway, that was an absolutely perfect flight and everything. First flight to Minmus ever. No problems at all. 2.3 G maximum force, which is brilliant. Total distance travelled over 100 million miles. Meters, sorry. Over 100 million meters. High speed over land, nearly 13 kilometers a second. High speed achieved, blah 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 blah. 6 days, 10 hours, 22 minutes and 21 seconds. It's a good job that I didn't do this in real time. Okay. That went brilliantly. First Minmus mission ever. Next time I will be making shuttle-like space planes and try and eventually get actually land a plane on the moon. That's one of my massive ambitions. So it kind of is harder to land on the moon because it's so rocky. On Minmus, if you target an ice lake, it's a much smoother landing if you get it right. Whereas on the moon, it's much harder to land right, and it requires quite a lot of luck to not end up smashing into a cliff or something by accident, and end up sort of touching down and hitting the brakes on a relatively flat surface, so you don't end up tumbling over and exploding, etc. Which probably will happen on the first few missions. So I'll see you then. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook for updates, etc. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.